50,000 kwacha. Chaliroku, and you cannot afford to not get lucky. Use your ABSA card to enter the draw. Terms and conditions apply. Your story matters. ABSA.
For in-depth news coverage from across Zambia, local and national news, business, politics, and sports, this is the Sun FM News, brought to you by ABSA. Your story matters.
The news.
Hello and welcome to Sun FM Radio and TV News. The headlines. Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security Jack Mwimbu has launched Zambia's 2025 World Refugee Week, pledging strengthened government action to support refugees and displaced persons across the country. The opposition Third Liberation Movement has described the recent rapid appreciation of the kwacha against the US dollar as manipulation of the highest order, revealing that it does not reflect genuine improvements in the economic fundamentals. The Center for Environment Justice has awarded grants to cooperatives and savings groups in Southern Province under the Resilient Initiatives for Sustainable Environment RISE project. Football Association of Zambia FAZ President Keith Mwemba has urged the Copper Queens to approach the upcoming 2025 Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON with unity, fierce determination and deep patriotism. Join me for the details shortly.
The news. 88.5 Sun FM.
With the news in detail, my name is Kaela Brister. Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security Jack Mwimbu has launched Zambia's 2025 World Refugee Week, pledging strengthened government action to support refugees and displaced persons across the country. Mr. Mwimbu announced the implementation of the Zambia Refugee Host Communities project, backed by a $30 million grant from the World Bank under the IDA 20 program. The minister said the project aims to enhance refugee livelihoods and promote legal inclusion by addressing existing legislative barriers. The minister noted that the project reflects this year's themes, solidarity with refugees and Ubuntu in action, which highlight the importance of compassion, inclusion, and practical support for displaced persons. Mr. Mwimbu said refugees are not just visitors, they are part of shared human family, further urging citizens to support refugee integration as a continuation of Zambia's Pan-Africanist legacy. He said the government has since reaffirmed its commitment to finding durable solutions for refugees and called on the public to actively engage in activities planned for the commemorative week.
Through various means, all focus towards the improvement of refugees' livelihoods. Among the initiatives under the IDA 20 project is the removal of legal barriers through legislative reforms. It is our hope that the removal of certain legal barriers will ensure that refugees and other persons of concern are protected by law and have the opportunity to integrate fully and make valuable contributions in the society. Countrymen and women, as we prepare to celebrate this year's World Refugee Day, let us not forget that the world today is evolving, with priorities around the global community constantly changing.
This is contained in a statement issued by Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security Public Relations Officer Gillian Namungala. The opposition Third Liberation Movement has described the recent rapid appreciation of the kwacha against the US dollar as manipulation of the highest order, revealing that it does not reflect genuine improvements in the economic fundamentals. In an interview with Sun FM TV News, party president Enoch Tonga says while the currency gains may appear promising, they have not translated into a reduced cost of living for ordinary citizens. He has cautioned that this disconnect raises concerns about the government's intentions ahead of the 2026 general elections. Mr. Tonga has therefore predicted that as the election period approaches, the public should expect artificial reductions in fuel prices and essential commodities aimed at winning political favor. He has urged the ruling United Party for National Development, UPND, to avoid the temptation of what he describes as cosmetic economic adjustments and instead focus on sustainable solutions that genuinely improve citizens' livelihoods.
Poverty is high. Nothing has changed. So what we are trying to say here is that these are all manual, artificial, manipulation, politics to advance the interest. Going down this particular path to August next year, 2026, 13th, obviously things will be rosy, as we have said it. These are the behaviors of politicians, to work on the people's minds. You understand? If you recall, I watched one of the questions that were posed before the bank governor. He gave you all sorts of, his dreams in his mind. The same thing. You live with the people, I live with the people, we are in the compound. Talk about it. There's nothing better. Everything remains expensive. In fact, they're going up.
The Center for Environment Justice, CEJ, has awarded grants ranging from 15,000 kwacha to 50,000 kwacha to support 4 cooperatives and 3 savings groups in Sinazongwe District, Southern Province, under the Resilient Initiatives for Sustainable Environment RISE project. The project is supported by Bread for the World, Germany. Savings groups received 15,000 kwacha each, while cooperatives were awarded 50,000 kwacha each to strengthen grassroots efforts in environmental protection, economic empowerment, and climate resilience. Speaking at the RISE Project Grants Award ceremony, CEJ Executive Director Magi Mapalo Mwape reiterated the organization's commitments to fostering community-led solutions that promote sustainability. This project goes beyond funding. It's about building stronger, self-resilient communities capable of driving long-term change, she said.
For us, we want to see you thrive. We want to see you grow. Beyond this support, we have the CDF that you'll be able to access. There are other cooperating partners that are working in Sinazongwe that when they see that there is a group that is doing well, they will go to government to say, we have a fund. Do you know groups that are into this and this? If you are doing well, they will definitely recommend you. So my emphasis is build the spirit of unity so that you can work together and successfully grow the cooperative that you have formed.
Representing District Commissioner Nchimunya Siakole, District Administrative Officer Brian Siwelwa described the RISE project as a shining example of collective action. He emphasized that the initiative aligns with national development priorities, especially in promoting inclusive growth and responsible resource management.
We urge that you continue working hard because empowerment programs are always there, be it from our partners, from government, and we should, of course, utilize government institutions like Ministry of Social Welfare, Community Development, the local authority, so that at least, even if we are receiving such empowerments here today from our partners, CEJ, we also are able to tap into other empowerment programs that government is providing.
Delivering remarks on behalf of Council Secretary Joelwe Maunga, Sinazongwe Town Council Advocate Brian Nsombo praised the award recipients for their dedication to sustainability and community upliftment. Your efforts are not only transforming lives but also shaping a more resilient and environmentally conscious Sinazongwe, he said.
So what we want to see is a disciplined cooperatives. If you form cooperatives, you have an objective which wants to achieve. This money should now go to other people. They should also benefit.
In her remarks, Chieftainess Nazongwe underscored the symbolic value of the grants, noting that they represent trust in a united and sustainable future rooted in tradition and land stewardship. She urged recipients to continue leading by example and called on all stakeholders to work together in nurturing a stronger, greener Sinazongwe.
Today's awards are more than just the financial support. They are a recognition of your dedication to build a thriving, sustainable future for our children and generations to come. I am deeply moved by your commitment to working together, uplifting one another, and preserving the beauty and bounty of our land.
The announcement was made in a statement issued by the CEJ Communications Unit. The Zambia Federation of Disability Organizations, ZAFOD, has called on media practitioners to avoid portraying persons with disabilities as objects of charity in their reporting. Speaking in an interview, ZAFOD Programs Officer Stephen Peary emphasized that persons with disabilities are equal partners in national development. Mr. Peary explains that portraying persons with disabilities as helpless or dependent can hinder their active participation in meaningful development initiatives and undermine the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which advocates for leaving no one behind. He urged the media to embrace disability-inclusive reporting by using appropriate terminology and ensuring that images of persons with disabilities are captured in a dignified and respectful manner. Mr. Peary pointed out that phrases such as bound to a wheelchair, differently abled persons, and the disabled are outdated and inappropriate. He stressed the importance of person-first language, noting that a person's disability does not define who they are. Mr. Peary expressed hope that the information shared during the media engagement meeting would be disseminated widely among media professionals to promote more inclusive and respectful coverage.
The media personnel keep reporting on disability issues in a manner that does not adhere to the tenets of disability inclusive reporting. The fear or the challenge is that persons with disabilities will be seen only as objects of charity, and that is what the disability movement is against. Because if people with disabilities are only seen as objects of charity, that means that they are not being viewed as equal players in economic development, and therefore they will be left out in meaningful conversations that can actually propel the country forward. And if as a country we are to achieve the vision 2030 of leaving no one behind, we need to have persons with disabilities participating, engaging both in education, health, employment, and all other aspects of life on a meaningful and equal basis with others.
The Patriotic Front PF in Livingstone has called for unity among citizens and current leaders to emulate the leadership qualities of the late former President Edgar Lungu. Speaking to the media in Livingstone, PF constituency chairman Thomas Kabanda emphasized the need for togetherness during this period of mourning. He said leaders should rise above divisions and focus on saving the nation as President Lungu did.
In Livingstone, we have vowed to stay together in this manner. As constituency chairman for Livingstone, I want to appeal to our leaders, starting from the national, the province, the district, the constituencies, and the wards and the branches, that we have to emulate the late President Edgar Lungu, emulate his humility. Edgar Lungu ascended to the presidency not through buying or because of money, but came to the position because he loved Zambians.
PF District Chair Lady Eunice Nchenesi urged Zambians to embrace one another regardless of political affiliation. Ms. Nchenesi further explained that this period should remind citizens the importance of standing together.
I would like us all to emulate our president because he was a true symbol of love. Our president used to embrace everyone, no matter where you are coming from, which district you are coming from. All he saw in us is humanity. So as we remain, let's be united. Our president had a vision to take PF through to 2026. And I believe that is our work which he has left us with. He has left a family, he has left the party, and we need to carry on his vision.
And Zambia Must Prosper representative Lucy Yataba also paid tribute to the former president, describing him as a selfless leader who left behind a lasting legacy of peace and patriotism.
Huge. He was big in the Zambian politics. So for us at Tonse, it is a loss. However, what consoles us that his spirit which he imparted in all the members of the Tonse Alliance still lives on. So we are not going to relent to show unity of purpose, and we are not going to relent to show resilience. We all know what Edgar Chagwa Lungu stood for and what the Patriotic Front stood for. Because of that, we are very sure that the spirit of Edgar Lungu will live on until we conquer 2026.
Meanwhile, Patriotic Front PF member Mwewa Chilufya said it was now the responsibility of all party members and citizens to carry forward President Lungu's legacy.
Chilo Chaba Edgar Lungu, wherever it is nationwide, no one has bought Chija Chililo. It is because our president preached love. He practiced love. You get it? And there is no human being who doesn't want to be loved. This is why you cannot hate somebody who is loved. Did the PF die? No. PF didn't die. PF, even as we are today, we are in opposition. Has our membership died? No. We haven't. And if somebody is wise, they must learn something from that.
Former Vice President of the Livingstone Press Club, Augustine Kapambwe, has called on young people in Livingstone and across Zambia to rise above political and tribal divisions during the period of national mourning for the late 6th Republican President Dr. Edgar Lungu. Mr. Kapambwe expressed concern over the increasing misuse of social media by some individuals to spread tribal sentiments, political attacks, and divisive statements at a time when the nation is expected to reflect in peace and unity. He said that Zambian youths, who are the future leaders and torch-bearers of the country, must refuse to be used as tools of hatred and destruction and instead become advocates for dialogue, harmony, and national cohesion. Mr. Kapambwe stressed that Zambia's strength lies not in its politics or tribal differences, but in its people who are united by a common destiny and identity. He urged citizens to honor Dr. Lungu's memory by promoting peace, tolerance, and mutual respect. The appeal comes as the Lungu, whose leadership and impact are being remembered across the country. Mr. Kapambwe has since encouraged all Zambians to uphold the national motto of One Zambia, One Nation, One People during the solemn period. Kelvin Chisanga says Zambia's removal from the global hunger hotspot list is not just a humanitarian success, but also a strong sign of economic progress. He explained that the change points to improved food security, stronger human productivity, and a growing ability for the country to support itself through key sectors like agriculture. In an interview, Mr. Chisanga said the farming sector is bouncing back and Zambia is now in a good position to export food to nearby countries such as the Democratic Republic of Congo, Zimbabwe, and parts of East Africa. Zambia was recently removed from the global list of hunger hotspots, according to the latest 2025 report by the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO and the World Food Programme. Mr. Chisanga added that the shift could boost local industries like food processing and reduce the need for food imports, improving the country's trade balance and increasing foreign currency inflows. He noted that as fewer resources are needed for emergency food aid, the government can now focus more on long-term development priorities such as health, education, and infrastructure.
In essence, with this aspect that Zambia can now reposition itself as a regional food exporter to potential markets that are standing with appetizing demand in the local markets. Let us see in the regional market, I mean, from the point of Democratic Republic of Congo, Zimbabwe, and some other parts of East Africa where we see this. So the multiplier effect into this will be able to see that we'll now start growing agro-processing activities, which will now bring forth that aspect of agro-industrial growth. And then more export and more forex inflow commands from there. Obviously, this now can be guided as a non-traditional export chamber, which will be able now to help us.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, has disclosed the successful commencement of the nationwide distribution of a comprehensive range of renal consumables, including the critical needed NIPRO bloodlines, to health facilities across the country. In a statement, ZAMSA Senior Manager Corporate Communications Bradley Chingobe said the distribution exercise began with priority deliveries to the University Teaching Hospital UTH in Lusaka and is being extended to all designated renal centers to ensure continuity of dialysis treatment services. Mr. Chingobe said the supplies are vital for patients living with kidney failure who depend on regular and uninterrupted dialysis sessions for survival. He said the recent stock shortfall was due to necessary procedural processes relating to procurement contracts undertaken to reinforce transparency, compliance, and adherence to the highest standards of quality and safety. Mr. Chingobe assured that ZAMSA remains unwavering in its commitment to uphold the provisions of the Public Procurement Act and other regulatory frameworks that concern the supply of essential medical commodities.
Also, just to reinforce transparency and adhere to the highest standards of quality and safety, ZAMSA remains unwavering in its commitment to uphold the provisions of the ZPPA Act and other regulatory frameworks that govern the supply of essential medical commodities. We also acknowledge as ZAMSA the challenges faced by patients and healthcare professionals, and we express our appreciation for their patience and understanding during this period.
Chililabombwe Mayor Lucky Sichone has launched a ward-by-ward cleanup campaign aimed at tackling the growing garbage problem in the district. The initiative, which began in Kamima Ward and moved through Ngebe Ward, has now reached Ilute Yeta Ward, reflecting the mayor's commitment to promoting a cleaner, healthier environment across all 24 wards of the constituency. During his visit to Ilute Yeta, Mayor Sichone emphasized the need for maintaining cleanliness, stressing that every resident deserves to live in a dignified expressed gratitude to the people of Chililabombwe for their continued support in the Keep Zambia Clean, Green and Healthy campaign.
It's extremely important that you keep supporting your council. When we allow garbage to power like this, it's not good to our health. Our children, our parents, our sisters, our brothers are inhaling this dirt. The smoke which comes from here, the air which blows towards where they are coming from here, it's not good air for their environment, for their health. So we thought it's extremely important that we deal with this matter. And as a mayor, I decided also to join my team, the council officials, working hand in hand with party officials and councillors on the ground, so that we can tackle this issue and reach to as many areas as we can.
Meanwhile, Ilute Yeta Ward Councillor Louis Chanda welcomed the mayor's hands-on approach, praising his direct involvement in addressing waste management challenges in the area. The Patriotic Front PF councillor lauded the mayor's leadership and collaborative spirit, which he said had reignited community efforts to tackle long-standing sanitation issues.
Challenges, but it's normal because we have a lot of problems. There were a lot of about 24 wards, of which we can't finish the same day. But I will really appreciate the work of the mayor because it's helping me to keep my ward clean. If you look at this track, it's gone a lot of wards, and it is here now. I really appreciate. Let's continue our council, my party officials, and who else about health. Health is not about an individual, it's worldwide. If one contracts cholera, it goes a long way.
We'll take a break. After the break, sports news.
Imagine having the financial freedom to live life on your terms. With the ABSA Ultimate Plus account, you can manage your finances, save for the future, and access personal loans. Plus, enjoy travel insurance, a credit card, and retrenchment cover when the unexpected happens. If that's not value, I don't know what is. Let's help you write the next chapter of your ultimate story. Call 5950 to open an Ultimate Plus account today.
Your story matters. ABSA.
Football Association of Zambia FAS President Keith Mwemba has urged the Copper Queens to approach the upcoming 2025 Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON with unity, fierce determination and deep patriotism. Speaking during the official send-off ceremony held at Tekla Hotel, Mwemba emphasized the magnitude of the challenge ahead and the high expectations of the nation. He further reminded the team of the government's unwavering support, cautioning players against taking it for granted. Mwemba stressed that discipline, unity, and a positive atmosphere in camp would be essential to achieving success. He issued a stern warning against unauthorized access by football agents during the tournament. Calling for selfless play, the FAS president encouraged the squads to prioritize national success over personal accolades. He concluded by reminding players of the importance of seizing the moment. The Copper Queens will kick off their Group A campaign against hosts Morocco on Saturday, 5 July at the Olympic Stadium in Rabat. They will face Senegal on 9 July and conclude the group stage against DR Congo on 12 July, both matches taking place at the El Bashir Stadium in Mohamedia.
With one thing in mind, patriotism to the country and to the people of Zambia. Patriotism. That is very important. You are not going there just in your individual capacities. You are going there to compete on behalf of the people of Zambia. Government, for this trip to even happen, we had to go out of the way to work very hard to make sure that the government comes on board, and the government has been very, very supportive.
As we end the news, a recap of the headlines. Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security Jack Mwimbu has launched Zambia's 2025 World Refugee Week, pledging strengthened government action to support refugees and displaced persons across the country. The opposition Third Liberation Movement has described the recent rapid appreciation of the kwacha against the US dollar as manipulation of the highest order, revealing that it does not reflect genuine improvements in the economic fundamentals. The Center for Environment Justice has awarded grants to cooperatives and savings groups in Southern Province under the Resilient Initiatives for Sustainable Environment RISE project. In sports, a Football Association of Zambia FA's president Keith Mwemba has urged the Copper Queens to approach the upcoming 2025 Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON with unity, fierce determination and deep patriotism. And that is the end of the news. On behalf of the entire Sun FM news crew, my name is Kyla Brista. Stay tuned.
Sun FM.
A comprehensive coverage of local and national news, business, politics, and sports. The Sun FM News was brought to you by